And now, The Very Late Show with your host, the one and only Ricky Glassman.
Breaking news. A strange glowing thing has just been discovered after lightning struck a dead tree. Witnesses say this thing, which they've named fire, shines like this big yellow ball in the sky and might soon become essential to daily life for things such as warming meat, roasting marshmallows, or even lighting up a smoke. Unfortunately, this fire quickly spread to the entire forest, killing everyone who was there. The silver lining? At least now we all know one crucial fact. Fire burns. Star Wars now. All eyes are on the next chapters of the saga. Yes, episodes 7, 8, and 9 are on their way. And with the full force of Disney behind them, there's absolutely no doubt they'll respect the legacy of the saga. No pointless fan service, no recycled plots, and definitely no mysterious resurrections. Somehow, the saga returned. What could possibly go wrong? Crowdfunding now. Rumors say that Christopher Columbus, a Genoese sailor, is currently seeking royal funding for an ambitious new expedition. He is planning a grand voyage across the Atlantic to try and reach Asia from the west. Honestly, I think he's wasting his time. The whole world's already been discovered. There's nothing new left out there. Every corner of this planet is already known. At the very best, he'll just find a shorter route to places we already know about. Business news now. What started as a small online bookstore called Amazon is now slowly expanding its ambitions. Books, CDs, electronics. Apparently they want to sell everything. They're even promising home delivery in just 3 weeks. 3 weeks? Could you imagine? It's hard to believe anything could arrive that fast. The company is barely profitable anyway, so let's not get carried away. And as for its CEO, Jeff Bezos, I'm sure he's perfectly happy running a modest little online store. Nothing that could ever turn into a global empire or send him into space or anything. International news. The American colonies, currently in open rebellion against Britain, have received unexpected support from France. King Louis XVI has decided to provide money, weapons, troops, and even a fleet to help the revolutionaries secure their independence. Not out of any particular love for democracy, of course, but because weakening Britain seemed like a wonderful idea, and who knows, perhaps one day they'll need our help as well. Anyway, with French assistance, the rebels may very well win this war. Of course, the operation is extremely expensive and will further strain the already fragile finances of the French monarchy. But hey, I'm sure funding a revolution abroad will have absolutely no consequences at home. Religious news. A German monk named Martin Luther has recently published a list of theological concerns about certain practices within the church. Nothing too dramatic, mostly a few minor questions about indulgences, salvation, and the general authority of the Pope. Just a small clarification of a few ambiguities within Christianity. I'm sure the church will welcome this healthy theological debate. After all, it's not like a few notes on a church door could trigger a major religious schism across Europe. In any case, this will probably remain the most famous Martin Luther in history. Hubris now. In a desperate attempt to escape King Minos, who held them captive on the island of Crete, Daedalus and his son Icarus built some homemade wings and flew away. Unfortunately, the latter flew too close to the sun, fell into the sea, and died. Now, some claim this proves that mankind should never attempt to imitate the gods. Personally, I think that's the wrong conclusion. I think we should simply use materials that don't melt in direct sunlight. I'm sure in a few years, someone will sort that out. Am I right, brothers? Stephen Colbert's Late Show continues its unstoppable streak. Yet another award added to the shelf, record-breaking ratings and critical acclaim all around. It's safe to say, the man is at the top of his game. Honestly, with success like that, he's got a long future ahead of him. If I were his network executives, I'd make sure to hold on to him real tight. After eating some rotten fruits, a few members of the tribe started acting really strange. They were shouting, stumbling around, and even started sharing some very questionable political opinions. Eventually, after peeing everywhere and throwing up their guts, they slowly returned to normal. Unfortunately, the whole ceremony was ruined, and from now on, it is strongly advised not to eat those kinds of fruits before a funeral. Agriculture now. Explorers returning from the New World have brought back a curious golden plant the natives call maize, but we prefer to call it corn. It grows fast, feeds plenty, and can be cooked in countless ways, or so they claim. They even say some varieties of this corn actually explode when heated, making a little pop sound. Hard to imagine that ever being useful in any way, but funny to know. Media Now, our network, Channel 106, has just been acquired by a very successful billionaire known for his close relationship with the government. Now, I know what you're thinking, but don't worry. Our editorial line will not change one bit. Anyway, domestic politics now. Everything is going great. Our dear and beloved leader is doing an absolutely fantastic job, and everyone who thinks differently should be immediately deported. Well, that concludes today's totally independent coverage.